Hello, friends, families, and community members. My name is Toya Spencer, or you can call me Miss Toya, as do my friends in Worthington schools. I have the honor of serving as the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for our school district. One of the many reasons that I find joy in the work that I lead is having the opportunity to talk with students to understand how they see the world. As we celebrate and reflect on the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I am reminded of his dream, that his children would one day live in a nation where they would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Much like Dr. King, we in Worthington schools believe in and are guided by our mission of empowering a community of learners who will change the world. Our Portrait of a Learner profile provides a roadmap to developing the qualities that will help them to do so. As such, we want our elementary students to be a leader, thinker, and friend. A leader celebrates the success of others, takes action to make things better, and models good choices. A friend is kind and inclusive, takes care of themselves and others, and listens to understand. And a thinker is curious, learns from their mistakes, and shares their ideas and asks questions. When we examine Dr. King's actions and words, we can see how they encourage us to be good leaders, good friends, and to think about how we can make our world a better place. I've invited a few of my fifth grader friends to talk with me about how they apply Dr. King's values to their own lives and how they are taking daily steps towards being a better leader, thinker, and friend. Why do you think Dr. King believed that love was stronger than hate?
Hate makes things fall apart, and hate can also make things worse.
It makes it worse. In what way do you think it makes it worse?
It makes it worse because, it could make people upset or even more worried.
How do you think Dr. King showed love as a leader?
He still loved his enemies.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
When people were treating him badly and stuff, he still loved them.
He still loved them. You think that's a hard thing to do or easy thing to do?
A hard thing.
Very hard. So we're going to talk a little bit about Dr. King and when he marched on Washington. He led that march on Washington to help people be treated fairly. Can you think of a way that you could be a leader at school or at home? What could you do to be a leader?
You can be a role model for little kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they can learn from you to be a good kid and listening to the teachers and stuff.
Yes. So I'm hearing you say, Josiah, that we could be thinking about our own actions and how our actions can be an example to younger students in your building. And I like that you're thinking that way, that you want to be an example and model good choices, which is one of our actions as elementary students in Worthington, so that we can be good examples to other people. What do you think, Anaya?
You should think about how your actions affect other people and how you can be respectful, how you can be kind, and how you can deal things without hate.
I love it. I think that is so on point. Both of you are giving amazing responses to those answers and really showing me that you're already doing these things as a great leader. So thank you for sharing that.
A good leader is someone who can give up things for other people, and a good leader is someone who can deal with things respectfully.
Wow. Is kindness important when you think of someone as a good leader?
Yes.
Tell me why you think kindness is important.
Even when people were throwing stuff at him, as you said, he still loved them and was nice to them.
So his kindness was able to allow him to look past those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Anaya? Kindness. Why is kindness important in being a leader?
Being kind is important because if you're mean, then other people might be scared of you. Other people might not want to listen to you.
Yeah. Is there one final thing that you want us all to remember as we conclude our time together?
You can show leadership by giving up things for others, being kind, being respectful, and dealing with things without hate.
Anaya, I think you said it perfectly. It has been a pleasure to meet you, and I have no doubt that with young people like you, we are going to have a world that is going to be a better place. Doing the right thing shouldn't wait. So when he said the time is always right to do what is right, what do you think he believed, or why he believed it was important to stand up for what is right, even though it's hard?
I think that even no matter what your skin color is, you should have choices just like everybody else to make everything fair.
I think because it might be like sad for other people if they are not like included, even though like Mila said, different skin colors.
Yeah.
They could still be like really kind and fun to play with.
Absolutely. When you are looking at people and looking at their heart and looking at their character and whether or not they are kind to one another, whether or not they're respectful to each other, at the end of the day, I don't think that really matters, right? What somebody's skin color is or the background that they're from. I look at people's hearts.
Yeah, I like to look at their character and how they treat people.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I'm curious, if you saw something unfair happening, how would you think about the best way to help?
The best way to help is like to ask everybody like how they're feeling, and then like brainstorm an idea like how to make it right. Like maybe you could, if this person has this opinion and this person has this opinion, then maybe you could come up with an opinion that takes both of their ideas together and makes it one big, huge collaboration.
Oh, I was just getting ready to say that word, Mila. What's a problem that you would like to solve?
Pollution and littering, because it could really hurt people and animals. Like if you pollute on the beach and put like a water bottle, plastic, and when the turtles are laying their eggs, they're gonna think, or they're just gonna like maybe run into it or like try eating it, and they might die, and the population will go down of sea turtles because they won't have their babies. It
is a honorable interest that you have, right? Like that you really, as a fifth grader, as a young person, are really thinking about those sorts of things. I just want to say, I really appreciate you both taking the time to spend some time talking to me about Dr. King and your ideas about him. I am so confident in the future because I think our world is going to be in a much better place with people like Mason and people like Mila leading us, because you all are impressing me with your responses and your thoughtfulness and your ability to really know and understand what is most important. Why do you think he thought it was important to make friends with people from different backgrounds?
He did that just to show that every religion and no matter what color you are, you can all hang out.
We can all hang out.
Because it could show that all colors can be friends with someone else that has a different color, and you guys can tell each other about yourself. And difficult to explain, but it's they become friends in their different ways.
What I'm hearing you say is that you can be friends with somebody who is different, has a different background, and that provides an opportunity for you to learn from someone. And sometimes I think people think, I am so different from somebody else that we couldn't possibly have anything in common. But when you do become friends with that person, you recognize your differences aren't so big.
Some good friends don't have a lot in common. And also, when you're different, you get to know about new stuff that you've never done.
What are some ways you can be a good friend to someone who might feel left out?
Go up to them and see if they want to play with me, or if they feel comfortable around hanging out with me, to make sure they're okay.
Yeah. Going up, hey, do you want to play with us? You want to hang out with my group?
We sometimes spin around.
Okay. And so inviting people to come into that and to not be by themselves, but to invite them in with a group, and to be friends with everybody that's in your group. Gavin, what are you thinking?
when you invite someone over just to hang out, if they're like lonely, it can help out with like if they have struggles going on.
Isn't that true? Sometimes we might be struggling with something and we might not tell anybody. But when somebody says to you, hey, come on, hang out with me, that just kind of helps your struggles go away. Why do you think Dr. King said we should live together as brothers and sisters? Gavin?
Because we all like share things in common, and we all can find a way to hang out with everyone.
You can meet someone from a different race, and they can also like tell themselves, and like you can learn new things about them.
I think you all have so much insight and so much wisdom. I have learned so much from you both today in this conversation about the importance of being friends. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with me and your ideas. It was a pleasure to meet you both. I have no doubt that with you all being students and being our future, our world is going to be in a great place.